Greetings, B-movie aficionados.
Hello, welcome to A Couple of Flicks. I am Tristan.
I'm Nick.
The movie we are going to be discussing today, I guess, is it's a kids movie.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um,
It's animated. I don't know. It was bad.
yeah, and we'll definitely we'll talk about why it was bad exactly. There's not a tremendous amount to really say about it ultimately, but it we're gonna see what we can discuss here, because I'm sure there are a few things to talk about. So, yeah. But I guess before we do that, we can talk about things that we've seen, recently, aside from what we're going to talk about. I watched I finally watched that Robert Rodriguez movie, We Can Be Heroes, the kids superhero movie. It was pretty weird, actually. Like, it had a lot of creepy, odd, confusing effects in it, but there were also some cool effects too. Like, there was like this part where this girl like creates like iPad monsters. Like, she like draws monsters on her iPad and they become monsters like in real life, and they attack the heroes. Like, I don't know.
Oh, so this is a newer one?
It came out a couple of years ago. I guess it's like a quasi sequel to Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Like,
No.
yeah,
Okay.
it's not very, it's like at that level, like the Spy Kids, Shark Boy and Lava Girl level type. It's about like what you would expect from that kind of stuff. Just mostly just like a lot of weird kids humor, and that's it. Like, it depends on if you like that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, I was watching it with my very enthusiastic niece who's a fan of the movie, so I could get into the spirit of it based on her appreciation of it. But I mean, truthfully, the movie itself doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So
Nice.
I don't know that I'd really recommend it to many people. Actually, it kind of reminds me of the movie we're going to talk about today. So.
It's not good.
Yeah. Well, what about you? Did you watch anything interesting recently?
Yeah, I had a three, I don't know. I watched 3 vampire movies.
Nice. All right, here we go.
I'll go over a couple. I did watch Renfield.
Oh, cool.
That was a good one. It was fun action comedy, really.
Good.
It was good. Entertaining. Worth the watch,
Nice.
I'd say. Funny.
All right. Cool. All right, that's good. Yeah, I want to see it. It looked fun. So
Yeah, it was good. Who's the guy? I forget who made it.
Oh,
Chris McKay, I think, or something like that. Yeah, Chris McKay. Well, he made.
Chris McKay.
Oh, he was the guy. He did like the Lego Movie and Tomorrow War.
Oh, okay.
So
All right, cool.
that's what I remember him from. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, like, his name definitely is familiar. So, yeah, I guess that would make sense that he would have been the guy behind the Lego Movie. So, well, no, not the Lego Movie, the Batman Lego Movie, or the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever see that? Like,
No.
I mean, it's pretty much like a kid's spoof of Batman movies. I mean, it's like, Lego Batman. I mean, it's right in the title, So, and then did you ever end up seeing the Tomorrow War? Or
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Was
liked
that any
it.
good? Or?
It was okay.
Okay, cool. All right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Like, not the greatest thing in the world, but not like
sure,
atrocious.
general action flick.
Yeah. How was J.K. Simmons?
Was he in that?
Apparently, I haven't seen it. So. I know Chris Pratt is in it. So.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't even remember him in that. Yeah. It's been a
Okay,
while
well,
since I saw it when it came out, and yeah,
yeah.
I liked it
All right.
because one of my I listened to the Doughboys podcast, and he was in it. One of the hosts was in that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love that. That's always fun when that sort of thing is happen. Like you can get into stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So Renfield. So what were the other
And
two
then,
vampire movies?
then I watched the Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. How was that?
It was all right.
Okay.
It was long.
Yeah, that one looked cool. But oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I did hear it was long though. Yeah.
Yeah, a little long, a little slow, but it was all right. I thought the premise was more interesting than it turned out to be.
Okay.
It was like it is like from the Dracula novel.
Yeah.
It's just one chapter. It's about like the ship that Dracula takes from Romania to London.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like a creepy kind of like what happened on the ship type of thing.
Yeah, because in the book
Okay.
it's like just one chapter, and it's like it
Okay.
arrives with everyone dead, and then it
Okay.
shows what happens there.
Yeah.
Goes a little bit more, of course, into more detail on that, it's characters and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
I was Yeah, go on.
you go on,
I was just gonna quickly mention real quick. I was mainly interested in seeing it because it was by the guy that did Troll Hunter. But, yeah. Anyway, go on. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that in.
Oh, I guess. I mean, Guillermo del Toro was attached to it at one point, but he had to go do Pinocchio, I think.
Yeah, which that was worth it. I like Pinocchio.
I never saw that. Yeah.
It's good. It's really beautiful.
And then the idea for it was,
yeah.
I guess, like Alien, but on a ship, and instead of like the xenomorph, it was Dracula. That was kind of what didn't really work out that well, I think.
Yeah.
Because the characters weren't as smart as like Ripley and stuff. They kind of like
Yeah.
that annoying trope of like the main character was a doctor and he was like, "Oh, I believe in science and nature and shit." And well, there's a demon on board or Dracula sucking the life out of people. He's like, "No, I don't believe this is happening."
That's so annoying. Oh my god.
And then, but there was sequel bait at the end too. Like, I don't know. I think it bombed in the box office, so I don't know if there ever will be. But there was big old sequel bait.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least they threw that in just for fun, So.
Yep. I would like this. I was like, ooh, that perked me up at the end. I was like, oh, this is getting interesting now. But yeah, I would like to see it have a sequel if they can. It would be a different way to go, I would feel, than the actual Dracula novel. Because the main character was an original character, and he basically wants to become a vampire hunter at the end, like a Van Helsing. But
nice, that's fun.
Yeah. And then the third vampire movie I saw was, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter since we're not monetized or anything, but it's the humanist vampire seeking consenting and then suicidal person. You can't say that word on YouTube. They get mad at you, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. But okay, cool. Yeah, I've heard of that one too. So.
Yeah, it was like a French Canadian film, like Canada Frenchy film. It was good. Nice. I liked it. Nice. It was like it's not out yet or anything, but I got a screener for it, and it was good. The title kind of sums up what it was. It's like a teenage dramedy, like dark comedy. About a vampire girl that can't, like, her fangs don't come out and she can't eat people because she feels bad for them and stuff. But
nice.
She like goes to I guess depression group, self-harm group that because sometimes in lore vampires kill themselves by eating real food, and Oh, there was a scene where she almost does by eating some poutine
Oh yeah,
because it was Canadian.
yeah.
So, and then she just goes to like a self-help group and falls in, I don't know, necessarily falls in love, but the other lead teenager was there and she helps him do his last wishes before he just lets her eat him.
Oh, okay.
And it's about, yeah, them just having a night together, and it was good, cute little dark rom-com type movie. It wasn't really it was, I guess, kind of a rom-com,
Yeah,
but yeah, very
yeah,
interesting take on it.
yeah. The premise sounded really cool. I was down for that one. I definitely was. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that one out. I think I'll probably end up seeing that one before I see the that last voyage, just because that's kind of a time commitment.
Yeah,
A little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
But
And this one was a quick 90 minutes, so
nice. Yeah, yeah, that's always good too. Like
oh yeah.
you don't want to stretch out your vampire movies too much. Only
Right.
like unless there's like good reason to like. Um, yeah, I don't know, but
Yeah.
cool. All right. Um,
Yeah.
well, yeah, all right. Well, I guess it's time we now talk about this this
Movie.
movie here. Yeah. This okay, so yeah, so I guess you could present it, Matt, the title and explain why you chose it.
The Adventures of Panda Warrior. Or the I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Um
I think it's Adventures of Panda Warrior. Yeah, although I think the it has an alternate title.
yeah, The
The
Adventures of Jin Bao. Because it's a
Jinbao.
Chinese, I guess it was Chinese first, and then they just made it in America.
Yeah, and yeah, I did watch the English dubbed version of this movie. So
Yeah, me too, yeah.
yeah, okay, good.
And I only chose it because I don't know, a friend sent me the link and he said, "Ooh, you should check this out." And I was like, oh no, I'll save it for the podcast.
Nice. All right. Cool. Cool.
It was so it's like an old, I mean, it looks like a early 2000s computer animated movie. Like it was like uh
You look like it was animated in some kind of program.
mhm.
Like it looked kind of more like a pre-made like or pre-rendered graphic type of deal. It didn't because like I mean it didn't feel like it was a movie that had been like kind of crafted by like organically. It felt
Yeah.
sort of crafted by pre-existing tools.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. And it was all stiff and shit too. All the animation was so stiff. Like even the very first scene was stupid as hell when they were humans. Because like you could see there was just a whole army of people that looked like there were like four different models that that they used in the giant army of people.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This movie did not start off strong, I have to admit. Yeah, the faces all looked frozen and
Yep.
stiff, and you definitely said a mouthful when you talk about the stiffness of the animation. Because, like, yeah, the characters' faces definitely don't move very much, but what bothers me about it is that their hair, like, moves a lot more. Like,
Mm,
you know, it's it's kind of like, I don't know. It reminded me a little bit of just weird cheap animation that doesn't look right. Like, I don't know. um I'm trying to think of a different example other than Dead or Alive on PlayStation 1, where like in the options menu when you turn on the bounce mode and
oh yeah.
the characters' chests like they ripple like waves. Like
Yeah.
that's what the hair in this movie reminded me of. And the pig's
Yeah.
ears.
And you could like, oh god, yeah, those ears were wild.
Yeah.
And you could like and on like the panda, you could like see like this tearing or whatever of the graphics. Like it didn't fully render or something.
Yeah, there was a lot of tearing. Like maybe they couldn't get all the data onto their memory card or whatever.
Yeah, like some of the action scenes in the very beginning, like it starts out by it was the humans were getting attacked at camp, and there was this. It started to like lag, you know. It was like, oh Jesus.
Yeah. It was definitely a tough beginning scene. You know, it all looked pretty wonky. You know, so
yeah. So the story is pretty basic, I guess. There was a huge, I don't know. Oh God.
It does have basically the exact same martial arts story, like of so many other movies. Like there's a chosen one, gets transported to another like another either dimension or world or whatever. I mean,
Maryland.
Yeah, like
it was Maryland, but it's like Maryland.
Maryland, yeah. And he gets transported to it like minutes after he mentions it. So
Yep, because he's, I don't know, chased off by a rhino or something, some type of, and then they fall off a cliff, and then he, I don't know, gets transported to Maryland. They're falling, and then he meets the pig character, and they're falling and talking, and I was like, what the fuck? What? I mean,
yeah. My theory is that everything that happens in this movie after that point is just a fever dream, and that he actually died. Like,
yes,
that's my theory.
I'd like that to be true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like it just goes from little set piece to set piece. Like the transitions were rough, like hard cuts, like all of them. Like
yeah. And the film. Oh yeah.
No, you could say what you were going
to. The hard cuts were rough, and the film manages to cram in like as many characters. I mean, it's introducing new characters all the way up into the last minute, practically.
Yeah, there were so many characters.
Yeah.
It was wild. Like I couldn't believe, like there was a scene where they introduced all of them at once too.
Yeah.
I was like, how many are there and why are there so many? This is excessive. I didn't believe it was happening.
Yeah.
Because there was just a team of 7 animals. I forget what they called them, the 7 wonders. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
They did like a Power Rangers move. I was like, oh God, no.
Yeah.
Which wasn't cool looking at all. They just kind of flew at.
Yeah, it looked pretty odd. It's like one of those Halloween stuffed up like things, and like the you know, those big balloon things on Halloween that people put out like on this, like outside of like grocery of bed mattress stores of like the floating dude who like wiggles around. It like some of the animation reminded me a little bit of this, like, and the bobblehead, the animation, like I saw a little bit of that in this too, you know, where the characters, it was almost like they couldn't control their necks, you know. There was definitely some tough, and also the characters kept on having arguments too. That was something that was a bit of a bummer. Like it's like you could tell they were trying to kind of make this a kids movie, but like a lot of the characters were a lot of the dialogue in this movie was just them arguing, you know.
Yeah, you could totally tell it was trying to be a kids movie. Especially there was just one scene that stood out, was when he was trying to make a fire with the stick, and then the pig pulls out a lighter and does it, and then she like, oh my God, it was so bad. Like she just, you know, flicks, like makes the fire successfully, and then like was playing with it afterward, the lighter, and then it like just blows up in her face, and like the panda just like looks at the camera and says, "Don't play with fire." It was so fucking stupid.
I laughed at that just because of how bad it was. Yeah, I mean, you know, I have to admit, there did come a point after I don't know, it was after about half an hour of this movie, I did start to kind of get on this movie's wavelength in a weird sort of way. Like I did actually start to laugh at it quite a bit because some of the humor was actually trying. Like I think one of my favorite moments was when like that pig thing or whatever it was like dodging the darts and stuff, and one of the darts lands like 100% like directly in her butthole, and then she farts. And then she farts it out. Like that was funny. Like
Yeah, she's a flying pig because
yeah,
pigs fly, and she flies by farting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love
Of course.
in a kids movie. You gotta have a character who just does nothing but farts. And yeah, so things like that were making me laugh. And then there was one bit of animation I actually did kind of enjoy when the panda bear was hanging upside down on the log over the stream.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
like,
scooping up water or whatever during the training. It wasn't even a montage. It was just, but
yeah, yeah, that part I like. That I wanted more of. Like throughout the movie, there are slivers of something that could actually probably make a pretty good like martial arts spoof movie. But it's kind of buried in a lot of really strange looking animation that is just so strange looking that it's kind of hard to concentrate on the plot. Actually, like, and there isn't even really much plot actually anyway. So I guess it kind of works out,
Yeah, it's basically he gets transported to this Maryland place, which was supposed to be a world that's all peaceful and no fighting's happening, but I don't know. I was a little because there's this exposition dump at one point by that lion. I was like, holy shit, this is a lot of explaining for a very simple bad guy corrupted the world. Like literally these goddamn whales and shit. And then there's this rat too that was like a bad guy, but I don't know where that went because it was replaced by a 9-headed snake.
Yeah, that was confusing.
There's definitely a rat that was like the bad guy that corrupted everyone, but that never came back except for in the exposition dump that the Norm Macdonald was the fucking lion.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that was pretty funny, like hearing his voice, like
yeah,
because like his voice is hilarious, and you could tell he was, pretty much just kind of phoning it in.
Yeah, he was just reading his lines.
Yeah, but he was doing it in such a way that at times you could kind of tell that he was trying to sort of make it obvious a little bit. Like I don't know, he's pretty good at making things funny just in general. So
yeah,
and then like
definitely because Rob Schneider was the panda.
Yeah.
So you could tell it was like a favor for Rob. Probably Rob needed some money. He's like, hey, Norm, come help me with this.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to, just a day or two, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rob Schneider.
Afternoon, probably.
Yeah. Probably an afternoon. Yeah. Rob Schneider seemed to have a pretty decent time, at getting into character, but,
Yeah. He was also that ginseng, I think, that.
Yeah,
singing. Oh god, that ginseng thing played music that repeated over and over. It was annoying.
Yeah, that got old after a while for sure. The image of the floating whale was cool. I mean, I don't know. I always enjoy seeing a floating whale in the sky for some reason. Like I've seen that in a number of things, and I enjoyed it in this too, even though it looked cheap. Like,
yeah. There was a princess that they had to save too.
Oh yeah, they had that kind of thing happen in there somewhere.
Yeah, and his grandpa was because there's the legend of the Panda Warrior would be the one that comes save this Maryland, and apparently somehow it was his grandpa, even though they even like the panda said, but my grandpa, because this has all happened to Maryland within 5 years.
Yeah,
his grandpa died or something more than 5 years ago, and he said, and the panda was like, "Oh, well, it couldn't have been my grandpa because he had this necklace that it was given to him by his grandpa, and that was the symbol that the Panda Warrior had, the original one." And he was and the lie. Norm Macdonald was just like, "Oh." Yeah, time works differently, I heard, in other places than here. So it totally makes sense. Your grandpa was definitely the original Panda Warrior then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was funny. Oh my god, yeah. I like that. That made me laugh. I mean, I don't
I
know,
was like, all right, whatever. Yeah, sure, why not?
like some of the jokes in this movie were pretty funny. Like, I don't know. I mean, it was a bad movie for sure,
Yeah.
but I did chuckle. I mean, it wasn't boring. I will admit. Like
Yeah.
it was repetitive, but in a way that was pretty funny. Like, yeah,
Like they just fucking why'd they have to give the time dilation little thing? Like, okay.
yeah,
They could have just said, "Oh, this started happening about the same time your grandpa did years ago," but no,
yeah,
they just made this random time dilation thing up out of
yeah,
nowhere. It's like, okay, all right, that's
yeah,
fun.
yeah. I whatever they were aiming for, it was odd. So, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my god.
they didn't do very much like actual martial arts fighting at the end,
No.
unfortunately. Like for all the training and stuff they did to like for like to do that, they actually didn't really end up doing anything like that at all. Like it was actually kind of just a lot of just ramming of each other, and that's about
Yeah,
it.
it was like when you if you I don't know if you played with action figures when you were a kid, but like you just smash them together for a fight or something and use your
Yeah,
imagination. It's like that, but with CG characters.
yeah, pretty much. Like the choreography of this film could have totally been choreographed with action figures, like 100%.
Hmm.
But I guess if you're into that sort of thing, like this movie's got that kind of thing going for it.
Yeah.
So
Random
high,
shit's just happening too. Just like they go from place to place. Like there was one point where like I don't know, they had to get a rock to find the floating castle in the sky, but when they returned, all this pig everyone was gone except for the goat lady. It was like,
yeah,
yeah, we got attacked off screen and captured. Okay.
yeah, that was just ridiculous. Like ridiculous. I don't even. Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, like it's really kind of hard to really give this movie the benefit of the doubt. But to a certain extent, I did still have fun with it.
Yeah.
But things like that did piss me off. Yeah,
Yeah. Um
yeah. I could see how this movie would be like like an odd type of stupid thing that's like a group of buddies would laugh at, like and then send it out as a data file to a buddy who's doing a bad movie video
yeah.
review.
And it was a kid movie, so they always had to help out bad guys, like because they were all possessed. So there was that ginseng character that did that song, and I don't know, there
Yeah,
was that tree dude. He turns out to be a good guy and then blows up at the end. And then there's
yeah,
the ox dude. He's a good guy.
yeah. There's no
Yeah,
killing in
that
this
dumb
movie.
shit. Yeah. I mean, the tree guy blows
I
up
mean,
though. He kind of
oh yeah, that's true. The
liked
tree guy
himself.
was, yeah,
Yeah. I thought that was pretty intense for a kid's movie. He sacrificed himself to blow up the snake dude.
yeah. That was disturbing. The seven headed snake or whatever it is, or nine-headed snake.
9.
Nine-headed snake. Yeah, let's kill the nine-headed snake. Yeah, I mean, and which they do, but yeah, of course it mostly whoops them. Let's be real. So
Yeah, they have to run for a while, and then for a long time they're just chilling out, and then and then it's daytime.
yeah,
I guess it's weak during the day, and then like they use the 9 all like this is the end of the movie already. It's so I thought it was they had like that little cutscene that looked like a fighting game thing. And the panda literally just said, okay, this animal, I don't fucking know their names. Like there's a
yeah,
dog, a
yeah.
rat. He just
Something looked like
commanded,
a badger.
Yeah. Oh, and the fucking hippo. And I'm a
Yeah.
water horse.
Oh yeah. They spent
Because
like a ridiculous amount of time arguing about that. Like,
you look like a hippo, but I'm a water horse.
oh my gosh.
But he
That's so
basically
annoying.
calls them all out to attack each head, and
Yeah.
each of them were like lightning head, like Ram attack the lightning head, Hippo attack this poisoned head, and I'll attack the main head. And it was like a video, like a fighting game. Like they had a health bar at the top, and it was going down every time he told one to attack the head.
Yeah. That was funny. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, it has your happy message, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm
They
sure
win,
yeah, they win, of course. I
save the
mean, some kid,
princess. Whales are back with
yeah, they get,
peace and harmony or faith and hope or something. I forget
yeah,
what they they represented, something like
peace,
that.
peace, love, and harmony, and glory days in the sky. I mean, it's a good message for kids to listen to on a Saturday morning, and they're bored, just
Yeah.
watching just bullshit on TV. It's like, oh, Adventures of Kung Fu Panda or Kung Fu Warrior Panda or whatever it's called. Like, I don't even, the title is Panda Warrior. Okay. Adventures of Panda Warrior.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like a fun thing for them to sit through, probably, but like, yeah, it's pretty silly. It's a silly movie for sure.
And I wrote down too that because it ends. I didn't watch after the. Apparently, there's. I wrote he never goes back to being human, but apparently during the credits he goes back to Earth and he spars with his captain using the moves he learned in Maryland, as well as drinking Chinese alcohol. The sparring ends in a draw.
Oh,
I fucking missed that bit
I
because I
didn't see it
like
either.
as soon as the credit rolled, I clicked out of it. I was like, nope, done.
Yeah, Sam. I should have been patient.
Right.
Darn. I learned nothing from Marvel movies.
I
I get
know.
yeah. I guess I gotta go back and watch that last scene again to give my full review.
Oh,
um yeah, I don't know. Adventures of the Panda Warrior. There's not really a whole lot to ultimately say. There's a lot of wisecracks, a lot of fart jokes. Um, Not really much else. Really, for the most part, they fight a nine-headed snake.
mm. Would you say it's better or worse than Food Fight?
Better, definitely better. I would say it's far superior in many ways to Food Fight because Food Fight gave me a headache to look at. um, Food Fight was like very unpleasant for me. Just all the coordinated animation where everybody was doing the exact same thing and it was like
Mhm.
hundreds of them, and then like the mismatched colors and just how unstable every character looked, including that one dude with the nose, like, which was really disturbing. Like, that's one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. Food Fight. I had an emotionally intense experience watching that.
Yeah.
Um, this movie, it wasn't. I mean, I wouldn't say it was pleasant on the eyes exactly, but it was generally pretty watchable. Like, I've seen worse
Mhm.
animation, even from stuff from in theaters. Actually, I would even go so far to say, um, this was bad, but not that bad. Like, I was entertained. I thought some moments were pretty charming. I could tell like a certain degree of um what do you call it, like it felt like the people who made this at least enjoyed making it somewhat. It didn't come across as something that like was like a mishandled disaster where the people who made it were fooling themselves into thinking they made something great or thinking that they made something that was even halfway releasable. Like, this one
Yeah.
feels at least somewhat finished, like, and I could at least sort of follow what was going on in this too, whereas Food Fight felt almost like just like a series of nightmares. Like and corporate advertising being shoved down your throat every second. Like it just I don't know, like Walmart, like I don't know, Food Fight was like having an acid trip at Walmart. So this was
That's why I
kinda,
liked it.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess there you go.
Like this one was definitely a better movie because it was
Yeah.
at least felt like it was completed. Like Food Fight felt like it wasn't fully finished. But I thought Food Fight was more interesting because of that. Like I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck am I watching? This one I was like, okay, this is a cheap kids
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Still funny
No.
and shit because it was bad, but
Yeah.
the Food Fight was terrible too. Like they're both
Yeah.
bad, but
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely say both you and Zach liked Food Fight a lot more than I did. Like Food Fight I had to watch it on 2 times speed, which which in some ways made it even more horrifying, actually. Like and there was some of that annoying coordinated animation in this too. Like I hated seeing those cats the way they were marching identically. I hated that. That pissed me off. I was like, come on, you can do better than that. But I don't know. Overall, like I would say this. I'd give it like maybe like a 1.5. Like I'd give it higher than a 1 because it's not as bad as Urban Menace. Higher than a half or a 0 because it's definitely better than Food Fight. Yeah, I'd give it 1.5 ultimately because by the things that I would consider better that still suck. This was like sort of on the bad scale, like bad but not bad enough to be good enough to be considered one of the worst. Like, but I enjoyed it.
That's
what about
good,
you?
at least. I'd say I'd give it a 1.
Yeah. Okay.
It was bad. Like it was definitely a better movie than Food Fight, but I think I had more fun watching Food Fight.
Yeah.
Just because it was something, like I said, just something wild to witness. And this was just more down the line, kind of your standard. Yeah. But
yeah.
Still bad funny, but I wouldn't recommend watching it.
Yeah. I mean,
I could see a world where I would recommend Food Fight because it's like something just so bad. It's like, like how did this get like?
Yeah, Food Fight is just pure insanity. Food Fight is a giant monstrosity. It's like Godzilla, while this is just like a wild banshee.
Yeah. Yep. So I'd give this 1. I don't know what I did Food Fight, but I guess I'd probably give it a higher score than Food Fight in general. But like as far as movies go,
yeah, your enjoyment level, you'd give Food Fight like a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, whereas this enjoyment wise, maybe like 2, 3, something along that. Yeah. I'd say my eyes enjoyed this movie more, and my brain enjoyed this movie more. Food Fight, I don't know, that was disturbing for me. It really was.
Yeah.
But I guess that concludes that.
Mm-hmm.
That includes our discussion of Adventures of Panda Warrior.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, my choice. What I can't decide what to choose. All right, I'm gonna go with The Dark Backward. Have you ever heard of this movie, The Dark Backward?
No.
I didn't know about it until like today. And it sounds odd. And I'm curious. It's by Adam Rifkin, who's the director of Detroit Rock City. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I've heard the name. No, I've never seen it though. I don't know.
I like that. That's a pretty funny movie. I don't know. I kind of want to do. Maybe we should do a double feature. I don't know. How much time do you have before Sunday?
I could watch it. I could watch both of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do a double feature.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling we might need a double feature for this one because Detroit Rock City is a light movie and this seems to be a darker movie. The Dark
Okay.
Backward, The Dark Backward, and Detroit Rock City, the
All
Adam
right.
Rifkin double feature. So
Sounds good.
cool. Yeah. And I don't want to spoil the plot for The Dark Backward in case because it sounds really bizarre. But it
Okay.
sounds
I'll
like
go
something
into it
that would be
blind.
interesting. Yeah. All right, good. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go try to go in as blind as I can. All I know is that it stars Judd Nelson and it's about something unusual. So
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. And Detroit Rock City is just about a group of kids trying to get to a Kiss concert. So
Nice.
yeah. So all right, cool. All right, I'm gonna look forward to that. So see you next
Yeah.
time on yeah.
Have
Yeah.
a good one.
Have a good night.